Time to play the game. Time to play the game!
Hello everyone, and welcome to MMO Hunter. This week we're taking a scouting mission into Skyforge. Skyforge is a free-to-play MMO by My.com that features a heavy sci-fi fantasy art style set in a futuristic world where men can become gods. I must admit, going into this game, I had some misgivings. I'm not a huge fan of sci-fi games, but there was enough sword fighting and magic to pique my interest, so I figured I would give it a try. Skyforge starts out the gate setting itself apart from other MMOs I've played. Rather than presenting you with a character customization screen right off the bat, you are actually tossed right into a combat mission. During said mission, things go awry, and at the end of it, spoilers, you die. But for reasons, you come back to life and start kicking ass and taking names. Come to find out, you're an immortal, not yet a god, but well on your way. After this introduction, you're then taken to a tutorial where you then select your class, and you get to decide what you look like. I did find this a little funny, because you're obviously a dude in the opening fight scene, but you decide to look however you want. You can be a man or a woman. We'll assume it's because you're a demigod, and despite this lack of explanation, you can change how you look at any time. You have to pay, of course, so we'll say it's super future science magic. Character creation is pretty standard, with good character customization models and high detailed characters. You have your standard sliders to get your details just right. There are a few hiccups when trying to view your character, as the camera sometimes would auto-turn your character in a certain direction rather than letting me automatically do it. It was a minor gripe, but sometimes it got annoying. It would have actually been nice to have some more variations here. In a world supposedly filled with cyborg monsters and gods, some more monstrous races or character options would have been nice. Sticking with a strictly human character model feels a little bland. Armor and items you receive in-game do not show up as new pieces of gear, they're just stat icons that improve your skills. Instead, you have a wardrobe of outfits that you can switch between at any time by accessing your menus. I assume as the game progresses, you can unlock more outfits or purchase them directly from the cash shop. Speaking of menus, thank goodness they're easy to navigate and pretty slick. You'll spend quite a bit of time in them adjusting and tweaking your character, so having a streamlined menu system that's very easy to navigate is a big plus. It's also here you'll find your Ascension Atlas. Skyforge does away with the standard leveling system completely, giving us instead a way to progress your character's abilities via this tool. You'll need to complete missions and quests to earn different colored crystals to spend in these nodes. By unlocking nodes in your atlas, you gain boons, abilities, and upgrades, also additional classes. Skyforge starts you out with 3 classes: a Lightbringer, a support class, Paladin, a defensive class, and Cryomancer, an attack class. I haven't had much of an opportunity to play the Lightbringer or the Paladin yet, but I do plan on taking more time to take a look at these in the future. Combat in Skyforge is surprisingly easy to pick up, with your main attacks tied to your left and right mouse buttons. The game doesn't auto-target for you, freeing you up to do movement and other abilities. On rare occasions I've accidentally pulled extra mobs I didn't mean to because of this auto-targeting feature, but that's because of my overzealousness and not really the fault of the game. Combat is fluid and fast-paced and encourages you to move around to keep on your toes. Bosses are challenging, and picking up their mechanics is relatively easy. My only complaint about Skyforge is, at least in its beginning stages, it's an instance-based game. You have a sort of lobby where players hang out, where they stand around the planet globe selecting missions to go on. These missions allow for single-player or multiplayer, and there are regional zones where other people can venture into to do quests, but there aren't any open zones I can pass between to get from one zone to the other. I have to return to the hub and move to the next mission or zone. The game feels a lot more like a single-player game with multiplayer and PvP aspects. But this is my first impressions. I may be completely wrong and the game opens up vastly later on. All in all, the game's pretty good, and I will definitely be digging deeper to learn more about the game. I'm iffy on the style though. The graphics are top-notch, but modern futuristic settings aren't my cup of tea, and it feels a little blah. I'm hoping that there will be something deeper into the journey that blows my mind, because there's a lot that can be done with this sort of crossing of mythology and sci-fi. So here's hoping Skyforge doesn't disappoint. So, current verdict, Skyforge is worth a look. It's free and doesn't seem to have any hurdles that the average player can't get over. Combat is smooth and easy to pick up, and you'll find that doing just one more mission to unlock a node typically turns into 3 or 4 more. If you got some free time, you should check it out. But for now, this is Mythka, logging out.